This is 7 News.
Tonight, exclusive, the young woman who survived a croc attack in our north.
A police warning about a serial sex pest.
Fears of shop closures as interest rates stay on hold.
And Hayden Ballantyne's 2-week ban. Ross Lyon live and exclusive.
From the studios of 7 Perth, Susannah Carr and Rick Ardon.
Good evening. A young woman who survived a terrifying crocodile attack in our state's north has flown back to Perth. Onlookers had to prise open the jaws of the 6-foot croc to free 23-year-old Tara Hawkes. Grant Taylor's in Derby, where he filed this exclusive report.
Tara Hawkes out of hospital and on her way home with one hell of a story to tell. Saved from the jaws of a hungry crocodile and with the bite marks to prove it. Our cameras were at Derby Airport this morning as 23-year-old Tara boarded a flight back to Perth. She was clearly still in some pain, unable to walk, and her injured leg heavily bandaged. By all accounts, though, she's lucky to be alive thanks to the bravery of her True North shipmates who jumped onto the croc's back and prized open its jaws to set Tara free. Today, Tara told us they were fantastic. They were heroes. Tara's a crew member on the luxury cruise ship True North. She and several others had gone ashore on Sunday to swim in what they thought was a safe freshwater swimming hole. Tara was the last to get out and was standing in waist-deep water when the croc latched onto her leg and started to pull her back in. That's when passenger Michael Fletcher and a crew member known only as Big Al came to her rescue. Big Al jumped onto the croc's back while Michael Fletcher put his hand into its mouth to prise its jaws apart. If you're wondering what a 2-metre crocodile actually looks like, then take a look at this. That female is about 130 kilos, by no means big by Kimberley standards, but big enough to kill.
By the sounds of it, she's a very lucky woman.
Mark Jones knows just how dangerous crocs can be. He works with them every day at the late Malcolm Douglas's Broome Park. He thinks it was a saltwater croc that attacked Tara.
Pretty strong animal at that 6 to 8 foot mark, very, very strong.
Strong enough to drag a, say, 55-kilo girl into the water?
55 kilos, I would say yes. Tara
Hawkes will need ongoing treatment in Perth. She went straight to a specialist from the plane. In Derby, Grant Taylor, 7 News.
There's a warning to women tonight about a sex pest who's been targeting victims as young as 12. Police say he's struck 7 times in the past month. Sally Bowrey reports from Mandurah.
The most recent attack was here on Kirkland Way, Lakelands. A female jogger was stopped by the man and he pulled off his pants and made rude gestures at her. Now, the 24-year-old managed to run away, but she's the 7th victim in 1 month alone. And what's got police particularly worried is the fact that the attacks are getting more frequent. Police have released CCTV of the man who is in his late teens, early 20s. He rides a black and white BMX bike. The other attacks happened on Ormsby Terrace and near Gordon Road in Mandurah. Police say the man they're looking for has a dark olive complexion and blonde hair and is of a slim build. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers.
Thanks, Ali. A Perth driver has pleaded guilty over the hit-and-run death of a young cyclist. Tim Anderson was killed while he trained for a charity race in Cottesloe. Today, a 28-year-old man admitted he hit the cyclist and didn't stop.
Ross Murray pleaded guilty in the Magistrates Court today. Outside, he had nothing to say.
Mr Murray, is there anything you wanted to say? Do you have any words for the family at all?
The 28-year-old from Watermans admits knocking down 26-year-old cyclist Tim Anderson. The young engineer was riding along Curtin Avenue in Cottesloe when he was hit last month. Ross Murray was behind the wheel. He'd been drinking. He didn't stop. Tim Anderson's grieving family packed the courtroom. There were tears as the charges were read. The night their son died, he'd been training for a charity ride for youth. It would have been last weekend. Tim was supposed to ride with his father. Instead, Ian Anderson rode alone.
It'll save a family from going through the heartbreak, traumas, the desperation that we're going through at present. And if it can do that, then the Ride for Youth is a huge success and must go on.
Ross Murray faces 20 years jail. He's been released on bail while he waits to find out his sentence. Samantha Jolly, 7 News.
Despite conceding our economy is slowing down, the Reserve Bank has decided to leave interest rates on hold. It's left open the possibility of a cut next month, but some retailers fear they may not survive until then.
Southwest beaches near where father of two, Peter Kerman, was killed are closed again tonight after another reported shark sighting. Blake Johnson in Bustleton. And Blake, there have now been several reported sightings. What's being done?
Well, Rick, apart from the beach closed signs here on the sand, not much else is being done, and there wasn't any active searching out in the water today after the latest sighting at Abbey Beach, which is about 15 minutes down from Bustleton. It was spotted near the boat ramp at about 7 o'clock this morning, but wasn't reported for another 5 hours. Fisheries didn't get the call until just after midday. There was a surf rescue boat out in the water yesterday, but nothing out today. Now, last night I told you about that school triathlon national championships. It looked like it was going to be postponed. They moved that today from the waters near the jetty behind me into the Bustleton Rec Centre. If there are no more sightings, beaches here should be reopened at about 7 o'clock tomorrow. Sue?
Thanks, Blake. The principal of a Perth school has described what happened when a girl was injured with a pocket knife in a school fight. It happened yesterday at Governor Stirling High School in Midland. Principal Pasco Petrino says there'd been an ongoing issue between two girls. One of the girls had to be treated for cuts by the school nurse.
We're really shocked and disappointed that this has happened. Certainly there's no place for this sort of thing at Governor Stirling.
Both girls received police cautions. The school will now consider whether to expel them.
Former politicians, prosecutors and even policemen have recommended a massive rethink on the fight against illegal drugs. Suggestions include making some drugs legal or even taxing them. Jeff Parry reports.
Police are still searching for an elderly woman who's been missing for almost 4 nights. Elizabeth Caldwell was last seen at her home in Eden Hill on Saturday afternoon. The 78-year-old's family are very concerned about her as she suffers from an illness and requires medication. Police are asking for a person who called Crime Stoppers around 6:30 last night to call back. They believe that person may have important information about Mrs. Caldwell.
A police pursuit has ended after a car rolled in a suburban street. 2 men were arrested after the Holden sedan lost control and rolled on Mary Street in Wanneroo. It happened around 3 o'clock this morning. Police say the pursuit only lasted for 3 minutes. Officers allegedly found drugs inside the vehicle.
A test to detect Alzheimer's disease before symptoms occur is a step closer tonight. Australian researchers have developed a simple blood test that can predict its likely onset. They say it's 90% accurate.
Coming up after the break, police back on Harrison Island. See what happened.
Plus shooting tragedy. 7 killed as a gunman opens fire.
And a truck driver's remarkable escape.
Aboriginal protesters have been moved on again from their campsite on Harrison Island. It's the 5th time rangers have moved in to clear the area of mattresses, furniture and tents, all under the watchful eye of police. There was no trouble. Campfires on the island were extinguished, but they were burning again after the police left and the protesters returned.
A former student has opened fire at an American university, killing 7 people. 3 others were wounded in the shooting rampage at the religious Oikos University near San Francisco. It's a Christian college that offers degrees in theology, nursing and Asian medicine.
He stood up in the class and just started firing. Shot one guy in the chest, shot another person, and once you know, he just started firing like crazy.
A man in his 40s was arrested at a nearby shopping centre. No motive for the attack has been revealed.
2 mothers who've lost loved ones to violent crimes have united to help others. Annette Dix and Ellen Rose say families have failed and then forgotten by the justice system. Alison Hembrough reports.
A truck driver has cheated death as his rig rolled down the side of a mountain in Norway. He had the wrong tyres on his truck for the icy conditions and was being towed up the road when his vehicle slipped. It crashed over a guardrail, plunging 60 metres. The tow truck driver jumped out just in time, but the prime mover driver couldn't escape. He's OK, but has several broken bones.
And Basil's here now with sport and a key signing for the Eagles, Baz.
Yes, so a young player who looks like being a star. Also tonight, the fallout from Hayden Ballantyne's 2-week suspension. Ross Lyon live on whether Ballantyne needs to change his style. And a cracker as Man U go 5 points clear.
Oh, I say, from an impossible angle. Hello, Natalia Cooper with you. Rain overnight and then it was grey today. A couple more showery days ahead of us. Then we can look forward to a sunny Easter long weekend. Currently it's 22.7, relative humidity 64%. Winds are from the west-northwest at 6 kilometres an hour. Our top today was 26.5. That was after a low overnight of a warm 19.5, and the city received 4.6 millimetres of rain in the 24 hours to 9. Around the metro area, the highest fall was in Serpentine with 17 millimetres, 16 at Kalamunda and just a millimetre for Lancelin. Around WA, the highest falls were actually right here in the metro area, but there were showers across much of the southwest land division. Tomorrow, a few showers in Albany, showers increasing in Bunbury, and there'll be a couple about in Geraldton. Over to the satellite picture now, and any shower activity tonight will be in those gusty west-norwesterly winds. A cold front is also approaching, and that'll bring showers to the southwest tomorrow. Perth will see the bulk of the showers on Thursday, but they'll clear later in the day. Interstate tomorrow, Sydney set to enjoy some sunshine. A bit foggy in Melbourne and Canberra, and a hot 39 for the Alice. Boating information, west-northwest winds 13 to 18 knots, tending west-southwest tomorrow evening. Seas to 1.5 metres and swell to 4 metres, but rising to a huge 6 metres. So a couple of showers about tonight and tomorrow, 25 the top after a low overnight of 18. Then a few showers on Thursday, but fine for Good Friday, and mostly sunny for the rest of the Easter weekend. 30 on Saturday, then 29 for Easter Sunday and Monday. And before I go, happy 64th wedding anniversary to Joy and Ralph Curry, and to Jim and Jean Emberton. They're celebrating 60. Here's Oslotto. Good luck.
And that's all from the 7 News Desk for now. We'll have updates throughout the evening.
Monica's next, and here's Today Tonight.